Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're exploring a really fascinating figure, Wu Zetian.
Right, the only woman ever to rule China as emperor in her own name, founder of the Wu Zhou dynasty, even if it was short-lived.
Exactly. And our mission today is, well, to figure out how she climbed to the very top, look at her methods, some quite brutal, others really effective, and see what we can learn from her today.
To really get her, to start at the beginning, she was born around 624 AD, enters Emperor Taizong's court when she's just 14.
And not in a high position, right? She started as a Karen, which was pretty low ranking.
That's right. The sources say she was beautiful, sure, but it's clear pretty quickly that her, let's say, character and ambition were the real story. Much more formidable.
Oh, absolutely. There's that famous story, isn't there, about the horse?
Ah, the lion steed anecdote, yeah.
Emperor Taizong had this wild horse, lion steed. No one could tame it. And Wu Zetian, young as she was, steps up.
And she tells the emperor, I can tame it, but then she lists what she needs. An iron whip, an iron mace.
And a dagger. Basically saying, I'll beat it, then I'll club it, and if it still resists, I'll cut its throat.
Exactly. It shows this radical, ruthless determination right from the start. That was her defining trait.
And that ruthlessness, that quality, that's kind of what got her back into the game later, wasn't it?
Very much so. After Taizong died, she had to become a nun, at Ganyi Temple.
Yeah.
Standard procedure for childless consorts.
But she didn't stay there. Her return was pure politics.
Pure, high-stakes political chess. Empress Wang, ironically, was the one who brought her back. She wanted to use Wu against a rival, Consort Xiao.
Which turned out to be a massive miscalculation on Wang's part.
A fatal one for her. By 655, Wu Zetian wasn't just back, she was the empress. And then Emperor Gaozong's health failed.
Leading to that period where they essentially ruled together. The two sages, they were called.
Right. But even with that power, ruling as empress alongside the emperor, she knew the old system, the establishment, wouldn't just accept her.
She had to break it.
Precisely. And maybe her biggest political move, her most significant achievement, was dismantling the power of the Guanlong aristocratic group.
These were the old noble families from the Northwest, the ones who dominated politics for, over a century?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Getting rid of their monopoly was crucial. It opened up the whole system.
Then she needed talented people loyal to her to fill that vacuum, which leads to her reforms in finding talent, right?
Yes. She massively expanded the examination system. Meritocracy became key. She started the palace examinations, often overseen by her personally.
And the Wuzhou, the military exams, too. It was a serious effort to find capable people, regardless of their family background.
A genuine search for ability. But there was a darker side to consolidating her power.
The control mechanism.
The control mechanism. She set up the famous copper caskets, basically suggestion boxes for criticism, anonymous reports, denunciations.
Which sounds maybe okay in theory, but quickly became something else.
It led directly to the rise of the so-called cool officials. These were ruthless investigators, bureaucrats really, who used these reports, often extracted through torture, to purge anyone seen as a threat.
Making ministers, as the sources say, tremble with fear, talent and terror, side by side.
It's a stark contrast, isn't it? Building an administration on both merit and, fear.
But somehow, amidst all this political maneuvering and, frankly, paranoia, she managed to keep the empire stable, even prosperous.
Well, the results on the ground seem to speak for themselves. Her policies like encouraging agriculture, lightening taxes, seem to have worked.
The population numbers are pretty striking.
They are. Registered households went from about 3.8 million to over 6.15 million during her time in power. That's huge growth, suggesting real stability and economic success. Laid the groundwork for later prosperity.
And militarily, it wasn't all smooth sailing, was it? Conflicts with Tibet, the Turks.
No constant pressure. But she had major successes, too. Recovering the Angsi garrisons in 692 was vital. It secured the western frontiers, the Silk Road, a big strategic win.
So, looking back at this incredibly complex figure, what's the main lesson for us today? You mentioned her critics acknowledged something.
Yes, even those who condemned her methods often praised her eye for talent. Her ability to recognize and promote capable people, the Chinese phrase is Ziren Shanren.
Spotting ability and using it well.
Exactly. Many key ministers of the next generation, the ones who oversaw a golden age like Yao Chang, Song Jing, the famous Judge Di Renji, they got their start under her.
And that story about the manifesto written against her really drives this home, doesn't it?
Luo Binwang's declaration. It was incredibly well written, a scathing attack.
And when it was shown to her, she didn't fly into a rage.
No. She apparently read it and said something like, "Such talent. It's the prime minister's fault we let a man like this fall into neglect."
Wow. Praising the skill of someone actively trying to depose her, that's quite a lesson in valuing ability over personal
It
feeling.
really is a profound insight into leadership, perhaps.
And then there's her final act, her final statement, maybe. Tomb.
Right. She decreed she should be buried as empress, beside Gozong, not as an emperor in her own right.
And she left the blank still, the Wuzi Bay, at her tomb, Qianling. Just a massive stone tablet with nothing carved on it.
Completely empty.
Mm.
And the debate has raged ever since. Was she saying her achievements were too vast for words?
Or was it something else? A final, calculated move, leaving judgment entirely to posterity, acknowledging the good and the bad, the achievements and the brutality, and just letting history decide.
It's a powerful, ambiguous symbol.
Mm.
Definitely something for you to think about, reflecting on this unique and undeniably impactful ruler.